Hello there.
There you go.
Welcome to Jedi and the Mailman, the show where two old friends aim to deliver the best Star Wars talk in the galaxy. I'm Mike the Maul Man. Joining me as always, Jimmy the Jedi. And once again, we welcome back Kyber Krissy. Krissy just informed me she's got a name for us all. Krissy, what's the name? Oh no, can she not hear us again?
She was just bragging about.
We tested the audio before this.
I wonder if it's something about when we go live, it throws off her system or something.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's crazy. The Polish Wookiee over on Instagram. That's a fun handle.
Nice.
Let's see if she's back. Is she back?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. It must be something with when we go live because that's what happened last time.
Yeah. Am I supposed to tap the unmute? I do that. Maybe I should not do that.
No. Okay. Yeah. It didn't say you were muted on my side.
I don't touch anything.
I don't touch anything, but that's what I'm touching stuff. Maybe that's why.
Yeah. So, man. All right. Well, you had a question for Krissy. What was it, Mike?
Yeah. I said 3 of us are back again, and Krissy has a name for us.
Yes, I've been calling us lovingly the Maul Musketeers.
Maul Musketeers.
I love it.
Maul Musketeers are here.
Noise. Well, that's fun. Before we dive into Maul, Shadow Lord, I wanted to plug this Sunday. We're going to be having, I'll be hosting Star Wars trivia at Wizards Alley here in Wichita, Kansas. It will be on Sunday, like I said, 5 to 7 at their place. All the proceeds will go to the Kansas Humane Society. So we do have, we have one video up on TikTok, just got put up there. And when I'm done, we'll put some stuff up on Facebook and Instagram. You may or may not recognize 2 of the people that are in the video. And I will say that the winner is going to get something from somebody from Skeleton Crew cast.
It's exciting.
I reached out to some of our friends. We've interviewed, I don't know, 3 or 4 people that have been in that show, and was able to connect. So they're all so busy. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get anybody, but we got some stuff. And I'm very excited, and I'll be hard pressed to give it up, to be honest. But it's for the animals. So I just want to say thank you. I don't want to give anything away. We're gonna release that information, I think Thursday or Friday. And get ready for it. So, but yeah, how's everybody?
If people can't join you in Wichita, where can they go to donate, anyways?
Well, as of right now, it's just, they can always just go to the Kansas Humane Society and donate money. And then they could always swing by Wizards Alley down in Wichita and drop off, money or whatever. If they want to reach out and contact us, I could always share Venmo or something like that if they want to donate. Okay. So, but yeah,
I remember last year you had something up online and I was able to donate via that. But
yeah, I don't remember. That might have been on the Humane Society's side of things. If I'm not mistaken, I've done a couple things for them and I can't remember how it all works. I do know that they're switching people as of this month, like this transition's happening, which is, good for people. Everyone I think is moving on and doing different things, and new people are moving up. So that's exciting. So we wish them all the best. And then hopefully this becomes more of a consistent yearly thing. We'll see how it goes. It always kind of weird. Last year we were in Japan and got back, and I just wasn't feeling like I could be ready for it. And give it the attention that it deserves, I guess. So, but anyways, yeah, we will be trivia Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. It'll be family friendly. Questions are going to be super varied, anywhere from super easy, like, duh, why did we even come to this, to, are you sure that's actually a question? So, but yeah, so come on out. It'll be fun, and it will help in a good cause. So, all right, good morning from the 1 a.m. land. Yes, 50's up. That's crazy.
What a trooper.
Yes. How have you guys been? I've been busy doing trivia stuff and making silly commercials.
I've been busy watching the Penguins come back in their series. Good times.
Krissy, how about you?
I've been fighting a guy about a door, but it's okay.
Fighting a guy about a door.
We're trying to get our back door replaced, and it's been long story short, it's been a fiasco. I feel bad because I think he's an older gentleman, so I don't think he fully remembers things he's said and seen, and there's been some disconnect, but it's fine.
We'll get it all sorted.
Renovations never go smoothly.
Never. It's like a curse. But I'm happy to be here and talk about Maul.
Yes. Well, let's dive into it, shall we? Is there anything else, Mike, that we need to cover?
I don't think so.
All right. So we got Chapter 7, Call to Oblivion, written by Julia Cooperman. Man, first off, I'm excited because I can speculate now.
Yes.
So
yay.
We're all caught up with one another.
We're all caught up. Everyone, I know as much as everyone else does. Thank goodness it was been killing me listening to all of our friends and people do their speculations and their guesses. And man, I like all of our friends, but some of us are not very good at speculating, and I don't think I'd be any better. I mean, you sit there and try to think about what's going to happen these next 2 weeks. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I have no idea.
Yeah.
Especially given these 2 episodes, right? Because we didn't really, I don't think we pushed the story forward a ton.
No.
Right? But I do think some things happen, so we're going to dive into that. Chapter 7 picks up right after Chapter 6, right? They're walking through the tunnels, and how do we feel about? Let me see here. I got Devin and Riley following Maul. I got Doc and Miranda bonding and escaping, and then Maul's starting to do his little sob story about his master. It's like, oh, poor me. Although, do you guys find yourselves kind of feeling empathy towards Maul or for Maul at all during this episode or the next?
During the next, yeah.
Yeah.
You really get into it in the next episode.
Yeah, my whole perspective changed on episode 8. I was like, oh, okay.
Like your whole perspective on Maul, or
on Maul, yeah, because you kind of just like said it. Like, no offense, we've seen this guy complain about Sidious the whole time we've seen him, and it's like, dude, I get it. Okay, my running joke is the Kenobi cut his legs off, and he took that way too personally. It's like he just has a vendetta against Kenobi and like Sidious as well. And then, not to jump ahead, but next episode definitely, I was like, oh, okay, well. Let me just back off the guy a little bit.
He's had some trauma, as we would say, right? So
a bit.
Yeah.
This kind of pops off right off the bat. We got Devin and Riley. They're planning to escape. Maul's kind of losing his cool with her, and basically they start fighting each other because she's trying to get away. And all HE double hockey sticks breaks loose. So how do we feel about that whole situation? And we can get into Miranda and Docky a little bit later, but how do we feel about like the action and everything?
Well, I think this episode was almost nonstop action. That's what this episode was all about. I mean, once we get into Maul's hideout, like you said, everything just breaks loose, and it's just some amazing fight scenes that we're getting here.
Yeah, I mean, the choreography for this is phenomenal, and the lighting and everything for it. But like you said, it's like I need a break. Can we all slow down for a second? It's a lot of action. But going back to like their verbal, I guess, like argument beforehand.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. When he's like, my patience for your vacillations, I think I had to look that up. I've never heard that. Yeah, I've never heard that word in my life, but it's basically like an indecision. Like, I think at that, that point, wears thin. I don't know why, but like that point to me, I was like, wow, he's actually like very committed to like getting her on his side. I know like that's what this whole series is about, but like that point right there, there's something in her that he's like, this is the one, this is what I got to do. Whatever he sees in her, he's like so committed to. Like, he's like kind of like virgin. Well, if they hadn't ran off, it's like you're gonna kidnap them and that boy, that random guy that she's with. So I just find it very interesting, and I kind of wish we could see what he sees in her because like I mean I love Devin. I think she's great, especially in this episode and the next one. I think she's a phenomenal character, but I just would love his perspective on her more. Like what is clicking in his mind that he's like, this is who I need to be my apprentice.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and he can't see how she sees it any other way either. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
obviously he hasn't put in enough work to convince her yet, but he is fed up. He's like, enough.
Yeah.
Like, I've done the work. You're coming with me. Like, we're doing this. You know what I mean? He can't see past his own idea of, you know, how this needs to go. She's like, has no say anymore.
yeah, right. Yeah.
He seems to have a plan he thinks is going to work, right? Because he keeps telling her, like, come with me and I'll show you my plan to take down the Empire. Like, is that just him like, hey, little girl, I got a piece of candy and here's my van? Or is that like legit? Does he really have a plan? And he's, you know what I mean? Because like, I still just feel like he's more together than he has been. I don't know. I guess I should give him more credit because he did unite the syndicates and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he'll take over Crimson Dawn and have control of the Pikes or whatever. But I don't know. I still just don't believe him for some reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's just trying to like lure her away so he can kind of start training her. But I think we see a couple cracks in the armor. One big one this episode and one next episode, I think that might be like, I don't think they want to make it super obvious, and I think they're just doing it little bits and pieces at a time. So,
yeah,
I think Maul thinks he's the smartest man in the room, and he's not willing to accept anything else. Like, he's got the master plan; it's his way. And just follow me. And you see that too later on in the episode, just the way he's dealing with his lieutenant and, you know, the mercenaries and everybody. Like, everybody just needs to listen to me. I know what I'm doing. Like, he can't see it any other way. He's the smartest guy there.
Yeah. And I almost wonder if he picks this up from Sidious. He must have had. I think Sidious does it a lot better. Obviously, he's in charge of a galaxy. He won.
Yeah.
But like, I think that's where this is coming from. I think he's trying to emulate some parts of Sidious and being like, if I just tell people I have a big plan, they'll believe me. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But Sidious was also taking steps. Like, yes, he manipulated a lot of people along the way, and he, not to give him any praises, but like, he manipulated and made false promises, but he eventually got what he wanted. And I think Maul is just like, well, here's the big shiny bell, and I'm not going to tell you anything else. And it's like, okay, man. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll find out more obviously next week. Man, I rewatch these episodes and I'm tempted to get up real early and watch them. So I don't know, because if not, I'll have to wait. You know, like, because I got to take, because I'm going to be sick on the 6th because that's when tickets for Celebration come out. So I can't be sick too many times that week. But I did want to give 50 he wants to gear up and get started. How about a Lego, Embo, Hondo, Echo, Rebo, Greedo, Tebow, Bubo, Mando, Lando combo? That's just getting ridiculous. So, but we get a little, so that happens. And then, of course, the TK troopers show up in the gunships and they're trying to like surround them. And we see some things. We'll get into more of that fight. But I will say one thing. Most of the things have worked for me so far, but when you're surrounded on both sides by like however many TK troopers, I know they're bad shots and stuff like that, but I don't feel like anyone from Maul's group is surviving the way they were trapped in this episode on that bridge.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, you guys are all dead. Like, I think that was kind of it kind of falls into like Mandalorian season 3 when they're training on the beach and it's just absolute chaos. And there's no way that any real group of people would train that way. So it kind of bothered me a little bit, but other than that,
especially when Maul bails, like, you know, if you have a wizard there that can deflect all the, you know, the bullets and stuff like that, you have a chance. But once Maul goes to, he had to bail out of there and, you know, take on his own fight, then you're just left with a few commandos going up against an army, and
they're just
surrounded.
Get a little
ridiculous.
Brander and Docky bonding, two dads just hanging out, walking through the gutters and stuff. Brander tells Docky that he worked with a Jedi who I want to know who this person is, and that he doesn't believe the Empire's BS about the Jedi, and their overthrow or their, whatever they were trying, their treasonous acts. So, you guys think we'll ever get that story, or is that just one of those things that we're all going to have to speculate on? Is it a comic book later on, or is it a book?
It would have been nice if the whole comic series that their work, would have been all out before this, so we had some of that backstory. But yeah, I think if you're ever going to get it, it's going to be in the comic book realm. Even though there's another season, and I think they can dig into some of this stuff, I don't think you're going to get that deep.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely like a book or something short they're going to do.
Yeah, because the comic's more about Brander, Nicodemus, and Vario kind of having it out so far. So far, 2 out of 5. So, I mean, who knows? We get some flashbacks or something. Maybe we find out about the wife. I don't know. And then they run into Docky. Or they run into Devin, he's like sensing her and stuff like that. And they have that nice conversation. And Devin comes running around the corner and Docky wants to bail again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Did you guys take it? Did you take it like he's legitimately thinks he's the problem? They're the problem and they should go? Or are you taking it like he's afraid? He knows that she was with Maul again. He wants to get her out of there because he's afraid of his influence on her, or is he just being a big chicken dinosaur?
I think it's the Maul chicken dinosaur. I think
chickens
it's the
are
Maul
dinosaurs.
influence. They are, yeah. Yeah, I think it's the Maul influence because as soon as he was like, "Who were you with?" She was like, "Anyways, I'm not talking to you right now. There's bigger things." And then he's like, "Well, we have to leave." And it's like, okay. And then as soon as they push back, he doesn't. He's not like insistent upon it. He's like, okay, I guess I'll just go with Devin. So I think it really is just him like trying to throw darts at the wall and see if any of these plans stick to get her away. I think he's becoming more concerned for her with because they keep meeting up. So that's what I've read it as. Especially since he's not pushing back like another time. So
yeah, and this is our first big defiance. Well, that's not the first one. She's done this a couple times, but he wants to leave, and Brander says, "I'm going to go get my son back, regardless." And she goes, "I'm going to help you," and then turns back and looks at him, and he's like, but Brander does say, kind of like, as one dad to another is like, "Is it, can we do this?" He gets, but Devin's like, "Yeah, the hell with that. I'm going to go save Riley because I let him get captured," which is a little bit ironic because. How many times in episode 6 did Docky tell Brander not to worry that his Padawan could protect his son? Like, I mean, one time I could forgive, but this is like, I don't know, like 50 times. I feel like, I mean, obviously I'm exaggerating, but I'm like, oh, Devin can do it. Devin can do it. Devin can do it. Now we've seen her do a lot of stuff, especially was it the next episode? She's pretty BA. Well, she's BA in this episode, but she's real BA in the next one. So, you guys find anything with that, or am I just being a grumpy old man here?
I don't know. I think he really cares about Devin, and I think that's his main priority is making sure that she survives. I don't think he cares about himself. I don't think he cares about anything else. He wants to make sure that she survives, and he's not compromising his Jedi principles at all, but I think that's his main focus, and he's going to do, he can't lay down the law for her and say, this is going to be the way it's going to be. So he has to go along with her and try to protect her and try to, but I do think he's extremely worried about Maul's influence on her and wants to separate her from that and get out of there and continue to survive. I think that's his main focus.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take it. So we get a little bit of Jack and I talked about themes, and my big one for this episode and next episode was loyalty, because you see it breaking and you see it bonding, and it kind of flashes the two boots. Riley gets brought in there after he gets captured by the clone trooper. I keep calling them clone troopers because they're in those dang gunships. The TK troopers. And he in Two Boots reprimands Riley, and I put Two Boots still sucks in my notes.
You know what?
So
you can have my ticket. I'm boarding. When he didn't have those boots on, I was like, I'm done. I'm done with you, sir. So I'm getting on the hate train. I was over it. Every time I saw him, I was like, you look stupid. I don't like it. So
I will give him credit. If you looked at his boots, where his boots were, that metal's real shiny.
Real shiny.
Everything else is like, so it's kind of like the
honest to God, the detail that they like the thought that they put into all this stuff is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like Krissy mentioned last week when Devin is dueling and she, she's in the back, she's rolling her wrist from the wrist injury. Like nobody would have thought, you don't think about that sort of stuff. And to your point, the shiny boots or the shiny metal where his boots have always, like all those little details is just phenomenal. Like it really, really is.
Yeah. Mimobi over on Instagram says Devin is more powerful than we know. So yeah, I think so. I think because we see flashes, especially in the next episode, I think we see some flashes of what she's capable of doing. It's weird to me though, because how we see those photos of Maul and Darth Talon together, and Darth Talon's very sexualized. That's the whole. It is what it is with Darth. That's why most men like Darth Talon, and if I've never even read anything, they see that, and that's. I just can't. I don't want to see Devin like that, man.
No,
I don't want.
No.
I don't. We'll get into it, but we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to see. I don't want to see that happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's a weird thing too, because if she does end up being Darth Maul or Darth Talon, like that's a big part of that character, for good or for worse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, and how's Disney going to handle that? But that's something we can worry about once we see how the next episodes. But that just kind of popped into my head because someone posted something, and I was like, that's not going to work. Like, that's not going to work for me. But anyway, so Maul and those guys go on the run, and Rook and Maul talk about loyalty. Well, maybe that's where I got the idea, and he's talking about the Mandos, and then she's talking about Devins. They're kind of conflicting with one another, but Rook does something towards the end of this episode that makes me absolutely love her. I think it's this episode. Maybe it's next episode. It's next episode. Yeah, so it's the next episode is the reason I think she's awesome, and I'm excited to meet her at Rebel ScumCon. Oh, and Devin, the voice actor for Devin's going to be at Rebel ScumCon. Folks, if you live in and around the Texas area, you can fly there. This is a free plug for Rebel ScumCon. Holy rip. The guest list, it is getting insane. So I'm not sure how they're going to fit all these people in there. Kentucky's going to need to slow down, or because I know he still has people from Mandalorian and Grogu that he hasn't announced yet. So
wow.
Yeah. It's because they can't announce them until we all see who is in the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
So but so we get that, we get that conversation, and where I'm trying to find my notes here.
That was a great conversation between those two, though. For her to be able to step up and say what needed to be said, it just shows, how intelligent she is. She understands her standing with Maul. Like, she can't outright challenge him, but she has the freedom to just speak her mind and speak the truth. You know what I mean? When she's talking about the mercenaries, like, we need to pay them, that's their main priority. But Maul doesn't want to hear that. Maul has something else that's more important. And she says about, she doesn't understand why Devin's so important to him. It's just, that whole conversation just struck me as, I don't know, just really, really good.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Just, Krissy, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to agree. I think it's because we haven't seen anyone like second to Maul in a way like that. Like, we had Savage, but he was just following him. Like, he was just blindly following his brother. I think the dynamic is interesting because now you have someone who I think he might value her opinion. I think he takes it into consideration. I think he thinks about it at least. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see their dynamic and how it works.
Yeah, because I wonder. It makes me worried for Rook's future, given the fact that with Kira coming into the picture in a few years or whatever, especially the way season episode 8 ends, which is pretty exciting. So I'll be interested to see how her Rook's and I don't ever know if I've ever really been that invested in a side character. Do you know what I mean? Because she's a side character. She gets very few lines. She gets very few things, but it's for some reason just super drawn to her as a leader and as like a lieutenant for him. I think it's I don't know what it is about her. I'm kind of like just like, all right, like this is pretty awesome. Good writing for her. I mean, I guess I knew they got Vanessa Marshall. They better do it right. So, but so they talk about that, and then Two Boots is starting to have he's starting to kind of come into conflict with, he has that conversation. I think that's in this episode. I can't even remember, to be honest. It all kind of blurs together at this point, but where, I think he's looking for Chief Kleiss again, and the guy's like, dude, she's dead, man. Like, what idiot?
Yeah.
Like, have you not figured this out yet? And so
he's starting to kind of episode.
And so like, he's still not forgiven in my book. So I think he needs to make the ultimate sacrifice, and I'll be okay with him. But
can we talk about his comm real quick? This is something that bugged me. The comms. Why is there not a private mode to that? Why is that out loud so everyone can hear it? I was like, we have all this technology in Star Wars, and you can't make a private line that no one else can hear. I was sitting there and I was like, that seems like we could do better with that, but that's just my one gripe with the episode.
Star Wars cell phone technology is not great.
It is terrible. Like, it's the whole thing. And I guess they're staying true to Star Wars though, because it gets them in trouble in Star Wars. It gets R2 in trouble in
that's right,
in the prequels, and so I think maybe they're staying true. But you're right, Krissy. That doesn't make any sense, especially with a droid. You think they would have some kind of just like Bluetooth connect where you could just talk straight to them or something like that. It's a good point. A very good point, actually. That's a good video for you to make, Krissy.
Yeah, me ranting.
There you go. That'll be a good video. You guys gotta check her videos out. They're always like these little things you never think about in Star Wars, and then Krissy's like breaks it down for you. It's pretty funny. Some of them are pretty most of them are really awesome. Tahu.
Yes.
All the age of the song "Return of the Mac." I think so. Krissy, have you heard the song "Return of the Mac"?
No, I don't think I've heard that.
How old are you, Krissy?
I'm 31.
Oh yeah, you're probably too young for it. I'm not Tahu. Actually, I wanted to let you know that if I didn't hear from you tonight, I was going to reach out via Instagram and be like, "Where have you been, sir?" So
he's a man of his word. I messaged him yesterday, I guess it was, and he messaged me back today that he'd be here tonight. So yeah,
nice.
Yep.
In the morning for him.
Yeah.
All right. Well, glad to have you back, Tahu. That's funny that you and I were both thinking kind of on the same level. Like, where's he been? So, the Boba Fett over on Instagram says, yeah. And then he says, Devin is going to be a real problem in season 2. I was like, yeah, I think so. Big bro, there you go. What we're talking about, cell phone technology, and get yourself a nice little earpiece. Those are all the rage in the 90s and the 2000s. So,
and I know they could do it. The clone troopers had them. They talk in their buckets. Figure it out.
So then it kind of shifts back, and it turns into Mike, you talked about all the action in this episode, and the last half of this is just nonstop. This is kind of where I got to the point where I was like, well, they'd all be dead if they were all surrounded like this, because you had them on either side. I think they were on all four sides being shot at, not having a lot to hide. And then, the Mandos and Zabraks are completely outgunned. Maul decides he's going to take on Merrick and the Crow himself. Well, obviously, he's got no one to help him. And then, what else we got? So in that duel, is it Cabris? He decides he's unloyal and he tries to take off, and that works out well for him. And of course, Vario escapes. Right? I told you that little snake. Right, he's gonna get tripped up, and what else happens in that little fight? Oh yeah, one of the Zabraks. I think it's which Zabrak is it that jumps? It's not Icarus. What's the other guy's name? Scourge. Scorn.
Yeah.
Scorn jumps down to help.
Cover me, brother.
What's that?
He says, "Cover me, brother."
Yeah, cover me, brother.
He goes and helps.
So how do we feel about that? We'll get into the last little bit of the Maul and the Inquisitors, but how do we feel about that action? How do we feel about what happens to the Mandalorians, all that kind of stuff? And we'll wrap this one up and move into the next one, because I think we have a lot to talk about in the next episode.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think this is my favorite set design where they are right now with the water and the foliage and everything. I was like, this is a great environment to be in right now. It looks so good. I'm gonna shout out one scene that I thought was really pretty when they jump through the water.
I know what you're gonna say.
And the steam comes off the sabers. I was like, I paused it. I was like, look at that, look at that.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Just like, and like we've been gushing about with this entire series, just the detail for all of it is just the things they think about. I wrote down for the Mandalorians, my other favorite franchise is Jurassic Park, and I know what happens when you're a meanie, you get eaten. So when you are rude, you are not going to make it. It's just like that whole scene. I was like, we've seen ships in Star Wars take off, and I was like, and they're just like, let's go, and I was like, oh, they're gone. They're not making it out of here. So, not making it. And then Scorn hurt a lot more than I thought it would, and I think it's just because of like the implication for Maul. I think that's where it was like, oh, okay, that's right. Because like, no offense, Icarus and Scorn look cool. Their designs are fantastic, but like we don't know anything about them. We know nothing about them. It's just the reaction from Maul where it was like, okay, well that was like tough to watch. I didn't need to see that again, but
especially when you build into the next episode, right? Like,
yeah.
Mike, how'd you feel about all that craziness?
Well, I mean, it was just a fun battle to witness. I mean, you see, I guess you see how well trained and how well equipped and whatnot that Maul's crew is. I mean, to be able to hold their own against that. I mean, we don't really know, I guess, how they all escaped. Like, but I mean, they had to end up wiping all those TK troopers out eventually, because once we get into the Maul and his duel, you kind of leave that battle on the bridge behind, so you don't really know how they got away. But I mean, I kind of want to get into the fight with the Inquisitors. It's
so I mean, that's kind of, I feel like once they make that jump into that, and I have the steam on the lightsabers written down on my notes, and they have a great battle inside that cave. Scorn jumps down to help because he sees the flashing. I think it's an interesting dynamic for me personally. Like, I know they talked about bad guys versus worse guys in this, for the season, and saying what we're talked about it, and it was things like that. But I thought it was pretty unique. I know we saw Maul and Savage fight the Emperor, but I feel like he's like super nerfed up. Like, like he's so super powered that like I don't think anyone really has a chance against him unless they blindside him like Vader does. But how'd you guys feel about that whole fight between those three? Because like they're all using their anger and their rage, drawing on the Force. It seems, a little crazy to me. I mean, the fighting in itself is really good. The back and the forth, and Maul seems to get the upper hand for a second, and he gets like slashing his hip, and all these different things happening. And then we'll talk about the very end of it here, and then we'll move on. But how'd you guys feel about that?
I mean, first off, visually, it's just stunning. Like Krissy mentioned, like them jumping through the waterfall and the steam coming off the sabers is just amazing. And then also is like they're surrounding Maul, like you see through little holes where the water's trickling down, and just the way the red lightsaber refracts through that, through the wall. Like, oh man, just the artistry is just phenomenal. And then they're battling and lightsabers crossing and using the Force and all this stuff. But one thing I thought was really cool is there was one point where Maul did a Force push on one of them, and the other came jumping in. And it's interesting to think that, like, you almost think like when you're doing a force push, it's just this big wall of like, I don't know, wind or something like that that's blowing everything back. But it's not like it's just focused on the one, because as the one's being pushed back, the other one's jumping in. So there's like, it was just interesting for me to think that all that, the force is just going directed towards the one, and it's not affecting the other. You know what I mean? Like he's pushing one guy away and the other guy's able to jump in, and it's not like this wall of force that's pushing everything away. I don't know, something about that just struck me as really cool. But I mean, just the way that it's choreographed, the way that it's done, man, it is just so cool.
What about you, Krissy?
Yeah, it is super cool. The force thing is interesting. I didn't pick up on that, but that's an interesting aspect to think about. Are they using force speed in this?
I was just gonna say that. I feel like there was a moment where Maul like zips over real quick. And I'm like, use force speed. Like we haven't seen that since Phantom Menace.
Yeah, that's what I was like. And I think the crow there's something at the beginning of the fight the crow does with his hand. It's like just how quick it is. I was like, are we seeing that? Or is it coming back? I got really excited. But definitely the Maul where he like scoots over. I was like, I think that's what we're watching. Which is also another cool thing to see, is that we're bringing back these abilities and like the elements of the force, and we're like you point out, Mike, we were almost learning so much more about it watching them battle each other, like just force users on force users. And it's so different from like the Jedi fights we've seen. It's a bit more dirtier, I guess, because like they're just like pushing and charging, and it's so brutal the entire time. Because like even when you think of like the Anakin and Ahsoka in her season, like he's coming at her, but like it's still not this. It's not I'm force pushing you and then I'm getting kicked in the face. It's like
it's an elegance.
So it's very it's very
interesting
to see the opposite side of it. So absolutely loved it. Absolutely phenomenal.
Nice.
Yeah, some of the force stuff we're seeing, not just in this battle, but especially throughout these two, actually even last week. Like I forgot to talk about it last week, but when Devin took over that the ship, the transport, the way she used the force to pull that trooper out of it and jump in herself, just amazing. But I mean, there's more of that too in the next episode too, with some of the stuff that her and Daki do. But
Daki does some stuff, doesn't he?
Yes, the stuff we're seeing with the force is just phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Timmy.
No, that's good. The last thing I got for this is, they kind of get Maul down, and you think he's surrendering. I don't know why we ever think he'd give up, but Merrick says there is no surrender for you. The Emperor wants you dead, and Maul was like, likewise, and then he brings down the house. So. Do we think, going back to last week when Marok's calling, is that last week he's calling for help? Yeah. He's not talking to the crow, right? Like he's talking to somebody else and they send the crow? Or, I mean, because if the Emperor knows he's alive and they have that message, the Emperor wants you dead. It wasn't Vader wants you dead, and it wasn't the Grand Inquisitor wants you dead. It was the Emperor wants you dead, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't know, I thought that was kind of intense, more so than if he would have said Vader or something.
I mean, I think I would agree with you on that, because when he calls, he says Lord, so it's somebody higher than him. So it's either Sidious or Vader or the Grand Inquisitor. So from this it might be Sidious, because he would be so personally invested in Maul not being around anymore.
Yeah.
One of his many contingencies.
He has a lot. I mean, he's got people watching Vader. We learned that in a couple books, and just flying on Vader constantly at the beginning, which this would be the beginning. So, because he says the Force is focused on one person at other times too. For example, Vader in the Empire choking Ozzel over the hologram feed. He just choked Ozzel, not Piet that's true. He does do that a couple times where he is able to focus on that. Then you also have times where like Chimere blows up all those Jedi in that forest, right? He's like, boom, and the whole thing goes, he blasts that wind or whatever. So, I think we're all over the place. Anything else for this chapter?
Do we think at the end where he's like if you watch with captions, Maul is, it sounds like he's whimpering. Do you think this is like the start of him leading into next episode, spoiler, where he like starts to break? Like, do you think that was genuine or an act? I think the scorn thing really kind of set him off, and I want to believe that some of that whimpering and like being emotional is from that, but I also could see it as just a tactic for them. So,
well, I don't know. This is the first time his plans are kind of falling apart. Like, can't have a lot of hope with the way things are going. They're all scattered. He lost half his Mandos. He's lost Scorn. He lost half his Zabrox. I mean, things are not good.
yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Oh, in the moment, I thought it was definitely a tactic. I didn't think he was falling apart right then and there. I think it was definitely premeditated. This is what he felt he needed to do to survive this battle. But I mean, I think you guys are both alluding to it. What we see in the next episode, it does make you kind of wonder: is he cracking there, or what's going on? But
yeah. All right. Cool. All right, let's move on to chapter 8, The Creeping Fear, written by Jennifer Corbett. There are no captions at the beginning of this, so you don't know like what's being said and stuff like that at first. I thought that was kind of weird. You think that it's all over, but then Maul escapes. Merrick and the Crow look injured. Spybot's looking for Maul. So we get this whole thing, and then we'll jump into the Maul stuff here in a second. I figure it might be easier if we just talk about Maul's journey and then the other group's journey. I think that might be easier on this one instead of jumping back and forth. Yeah. So I just wanted to point out Rook, though. This is where Rook won me over. I'm not sure why. It was such a small detail. But when they're leaving and they're getting out of that area, when Icarus walks by, she just puts a hand on him.
Yeah.
Right. She puts it's like, yeah, I'm here for you. Like, I get it. I get your pain and stuff. I don't know why. That just was like, dang, that's good leadership, and that's good. It's good writing. You know what I mean? To put something in that. So something so human in an animated series. I think that was really cool. So
no, that is, I mean, I didn't consider it now, but until now, but that is a really touching moment. Like, that's one thing that's really important as a second in command is, the person that's in command has so much on his mind that little things like that can slip. Like the appreciation for the people that are, putting their lives on the line for you and things like that can kind of slip because you're so focused on that main objective that it's really is important. It really is part of the role of that second in command to make sure that those little things don't slip. And that's a perfect example of it. You're so right. She is just, they've written her to a T as like just the perfect second in command. Like, she's great.
No, yeah, I agree. It's very Mandalorian too.
They did. I mean, they're a violent group, but when someone falls and you lose a brother, you lose a warrior. It seems like, and they're down to 5 or 6 people now, not 6 or 7, but 5 or 6. So, had to do it. All right, so let's talk Maul first, and then we'll talk the group trying to escape. And I mean, his flashbacks, they're extensive. I have a lot of notes. And there's so many voices and Kenobi and Savage and Spider Legs, and I mean, just man, so I got Maul having flashbacks to when he's a kid leaving Savage, which that's new. I don't think we've ever seen that. You just got through Sons of Dathomir, and I've just started reading it. Is there anything about that in there? Like when he leaves, like, is there any flashbacks? Because so far it's just been like the plan to get Grievous and Dooku to him and Mother Talzin. So
it's all said. It's all said out loud. It's not flashbacks. It's all like told.
Okay.
And it's not as extensive in this. It's like a line or two, and it doesn't involve Savage. He's not mentioned at all. Spoilers, but it's not like this. I think this scene in Maul is a lot more impactful than what was in the comic. Okay. The comic just kind of, it sparked more questions for me. It was like, okay, well, how did we get here? Why are we doing this kind of thing? Like, I would like to see more of it. I think a comic, or I mean, this answered that as well, as like, if you could just give me more backstory on Maul, I think I would be super happy with it. I mean, this episode gave you it, but
all right.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people were talking about The Unwilling Apprentice, which is like a special story in a Galaxy's Edge exclusive Fables and Myth book. People were pulling out all these things. And it talked about kind of what we saw with Savage is flashback in this. It kind of alluded to it. There's almost a scene directly like this from the story. So that was interesting to see kind of come back around visually. But yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So he sees a bunch of things. He has this thing. He sees a young version of himself, and he's crying. That kid's crying. You see Kenobi. You hear Kenobi. Kenobi has a green saber. I'm not going to say that I noticed that at first. I did watch New Rockstars yesterday. I was like Eric Voss's breakdowns, like they always. I mean, he has a whole team that breaks this stuff down for him. So, but in that flashback, you hear Kenobi and you hear the laser thing. It's like when he's running through, like you hear that, and then you see Kenobi jumping through. Kenobi actually has a green lightsaber, but that would have been Qui-Gon's lightsaber, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was a neat touch, because that's what he sees there. I said I put garbage Maul. You got that heartbeat going on in the background. Like, folks, if you haven't listened to this or you haven't watched it, like there's so much sound. I would love to have like really good speakers in my house for this show. Like, do you know what I mean? Like a surround sound system. I think it would be it'd be worth it just for this show.
Immersive.
So, of course, and he kind of has this roller coaster of emotions, and they break it up, but we're just going to talk straight through it. He falls down. Is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? And then he sees Sidious, and he's like, you did this to me. He never really takes the blame for anything, but he blames Sidious for all that. And then we have a bunch of stuff. He's gonna give up, and then he talks about later on. He goes, "I won't let him do this to anyone else." And what do you think? Is there a reason that they're putting a line like that in? I won't let him do this to anybody else. He does know. Does he know about Anakin? Like, does he know, like in season 7 of Clone Wars, they want to go get Anakin. He wants, he wants Ahsoka's help to go get Anakin. Does he know what the Emperor has planned for Anakin? Because if he does, like, it'll be very interesting if Vader shows up and then Maul's trying to talk him out of being an apprentice or something like that. Like, I'm not going to let him do this to you. Like, he's not going to, it's like an ex trying to talk, like, this guy's not any good for you. You may like him now, but he's sure as hell is not gonna, like, this is just a facade. He's using you, kind of thing, like, and so I wonder how you guys, if you picked up on that at all, or you thought about that at all. I thought that was a weird, for him to be, I won't let him do this. For him to be worried about anybody else and just like maybe want to go kill him. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about him necessarily. It's about, well, I'm not going to let him do this to anyone else. I'm not going to let him make anyone else feel like I feel. And I think it's kind of an interesting take on Maul, because everything's been like me. And now he's like, well, I'm not going to let him do this to anyone else. So is he going to be more powerful because of that? Less powerful because of that? Does it matter?
It's an interesting take. I mean, in season 2, are we going to see a battle between Maul and Vader? And in the when they're not crossing sabers, are they going to be talking? Is that what Maul's going to be doing? It's like, come on, Anakin, you don't know what he's going to do to you. You come with me. We can, that's it. That could be interesting.
Vader and Anakin holding it, just skipping through the fields of flowers, singing Kumbaya.
Yep. I'm sure that's how it will go.
I think that's how the season. I think this is how season 1's going to end, folks. Spoilers.
We don't know.
Yep. We got to change the whole timeline.
They're retconning everything, guys.
Everything's going to be retconned. Here we go.
Oh, the pandemonium.
Blades are going to turn pink.
Yes.
I'd like a pink saber, but
there you go. Surprised there isn't one, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it would be fun.
I mean, so what do you think, Krissy?
Yeah.
About Maul's journey. You can go anywhere in there you want. I know it's a lot, but
yeah, I'm gonna try not to ramble. I really like this.
Ramble.
I love this.
What do they say?
Sequence.
Rumble, young man, rumble. Ramble, young girl, ramble.
I loved this sequence so much, and I had to like check myself. I was like, this is a bad guy. like, I think it's really important that Devin in episode 7 was like, he's a murderer. Like, so don't listen to him. I think everyone, he's a murderer. Let's just remember he's not a great guy. But, and I made my biggest takeaway with this is like, he's not a great guy. He's not a good guy, but I can feel bad for little baby Maul who got ripped away from everything and was taken under someone who was his only support in life. And he manipulated and harmed him to an extent that I don't think any of us could really fathom. And like that breaks somebody. And I think that's what we've been seeing with Maul, especially like he's has this fear and anger and all these emotions towards Sidious, and I think towards himself. I think that's what the beginning sequence is. He's like, I hate you. I don't like you, and it's his little baby version of him. And I don't know if you picked up on it, but I'm big on symbolisms. It's in water, and like water is like usually symbolized as like a transformation. And then we get taken to the wind tunnel with like sand. So I think that is like him going through obviously his past lives and kind of coming out the other end, which is where we get to I think watching him relive his life again, he's like, this wasn't really my fault. I was manipulated. Again, not ignoring what he did wrong in his life. He made choices just like Anakin made choices. But like, I think he's focusing in on, I'm not the problem. Someone harmed me. I got turned into this. And I'm sorry, and now I'm going to fix it. And I think now we're going to get a more focused Maul, because I feel like he's just been like on his revenge tour. And like, yes, he got all these syndicates together, but it seems kind of aimless. It seems like he's going, like, I don't think he has a grand plan. I know we talked about it earlier, but like he keeps saying he has a plan. And I'm like, I feel like you're just mad and trying to get as much power as possible to maybe start like a fight against Sidious, but like I don't think you really have an end goal yet. So I'm wondering now, after all of this, with this kind of like a realignment in himself, like he's not like to the light side now. He's even more angry. But it's more focused, I think, is what we're watching. I think he now has a goal. He's like, I'm gonna get an apprentice. I'm gonna be better than Sidious. I'm gonna be better to her. And we are gonna go and we are gonna kick this guy's booty and see what happens. So I think that's what it is. I think he's just coming back to like I said, a recentered Maul. I think he's got like a line now instead of just being like, I'm mad and I'm going all these places. So if that makes sense.
No, it's interesting. No, yeah. I mean, from the very start of this, like we all kind of had this idea that Maul was more in control. He was less anger driven. You know what I mean? But as time is going on, I think we've seen that, I don't know whether it's just because things are unraveling or maybe there was never really anything to it. Maybe it was all just a facade, but you know, he's getting back to Maul, you know what I mean? I thought it was really interesting. I thought it was a really good way to flush out the character, you know, in just a matter of a couple minutes and all those flashbacks, reliving all his past trauma to see, you know, how did we get here to this person? And then after you're presented with all that, you have Maul becoming Maul again, just going back to the anger driven, you know, revenge seeking, like he's centered himself again. He's become Maul once again. And he, you know, he's ready to go and, you know, to your point, you know, push forward this plan that, you know, he's worked out. But yeah, it's just one more amazing thing about this series, just so well written, so well drawn, so well, like everything just top notch.
Yeah, I mean, like, what a way to write a villain, right? I feel like some of the best villains you sympathize with, like that's why people love Vader and Anakin. It's like he was just a cute little boy driving his little pod racer, and now he's this. You know, like you're so attached to these vulnerable moments with them, and it's like, gosh, but you're really a bad guy, but I do feel bad for you. So yeah,
see how you got
fantastic
here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think it's a great journey. We'll talk about the very end of his stuff here in a second, but then we get action-packed city. I think it's a pretty good balance between I remember being pretty like dialed in to this episode when I was watching it. Just, you know, I thought it balanced pretty well with the way it jumped back and forth. But then of course we've got, you know, Riley's in jail, Crowface interrogates him. I said, I put in my notes, if I was Riley, I'd be pooping my pants if the crow face came in. And I was like, holy crap, you know. Two Boots is kind of figuring things out. This is the one where he finds out about the chief. He fears what will happen to Riley. And then he's got a whole thing with protocol versus doing the right thing. I just don't see how, again, sometimes, and I don't know why this has never bothered me about a droid before, but like, how can they, if they're programmed to do something and be a certain way, how can they, you know what I mean? Like I am struggling a little bit, and I'm not trying to harp on it or whatever, but it is something that's just not working for me, because like all of a sudden he's like in a human, they have a change of heart. Like they believe this to be true. I mean, can a droid do that? Like, oh, no one's following protocol, so I'll just go this way. Like, I feel like a droid would keep trying to follow protocol.
Well, they're not robots. They're not robots. They're androids.
True.
They do
some capacity
resemble humans in some way. They have a capacity to learn and adapt. And I mean, all your favorite droids, you know, they don't follow strict protocol. They, you know, they do things they're not supposed to. They they grow, they learn, they take on more human traits, and I mean, like I'm still a Two Boots fan. I mean, even more now, because he finally figured it out, you know, and he's doing the right thing here. And he's a heck of a shot.
Oh yeah,
he's pretty accurate. Yeah,
like
yeah. When he started fighting again, I was like, okay, well, this is good for us. This is great. Yeah. Also, I put Two Boots as me trying to do espionage, because I'd be like, hello, everything's normal, I'm fine. And he's like, normal. What are you doing? I loved it. He's got charm to him. I'll give him that. But I don't know. Maybe Jimmy's getting in my head. I'm starting to see a little bit of, because like you think of like C-3PO, and he's a protocol droid, but I think he's just like, it's so consistent though, but he's still like quirky in his ways. I don't know what it is.
Like AP5 from from Rebels and stuff too. So
yeah.
So they get to the headquarters. It's obviously filled with shiny impies, and and you know, Two Boots is bringing Riley out, and very suspiciously bringing him out. Docky tells Devin to go get a car, and I think that's I don't know why it's so great scene, but I also want to point out something in this scene. When she has the opportunity to fight these three aliens, do you see the joy on her face?
Oh yeah.
Like she's like, okay, like that sounds like something Maul would say. Like, oh, we're gonna do this. So
these are the traits that Maul has identified in her. Like, I don't know how. Like we going way back to when he first decided there's someone here that I'm destined to take on as an apprentice. These are the things that he sensed, that she's got this teen angst. She's just waiting to beat up, you know, strange men. She's there's some darkness in this girl. She's perfect.
Yeah.
I do wish we would have got. I do wish we would have got to see. I mean, we get to see the aftermath. I mean, it's slick how they do that. You know, you get to maybe imagine it, but I'd like to seen her, lay the smack down on those three.
Yeah. Krissy, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I wrote that down. I'm like, I thought is beating up people very Jedi? Like, she's very excited, like you said. She's like, all right, let's do this. I want that cool car, and that this is going to be mine.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I was like, why not just take something easier? And I guess maybe she explains it later on with like the speed of it, but I think maybe that was a bit of a self-indulgent task for her.
Yeah, for sure. I just feel like it's their way of showing us that it is starting to break. But that kind of makes me think like, I know we could probably talk for another hour about what's going to happen next week, but it really makes me think about next week because they've been going so slow. Either this is going to end like on a cliffhanger and we're not going to know anything, or something dramatic is going to happen next week in the finale, and she's going to snap or something. So I'm kind of excited. I feel like something big has to happen, or it won't have felt earned as slow as they've taken it from me. It's just something little happens, I guess. But yeah, I really enjoyed her piloting. You know, she shows up and she saves the day. That's another thing about this character of Devin. You don't hear any of these whiny fanboys crying about this Mary Sue
She's a Mary
character.
Sue.
Yeah, and I'm here for it. But I also think that Disney needs to see this and be like, look, if you write a good character and a compelling character, most people don't care. Now I know there are people, I'm not sitting there giving everyone a free pass because I know there are people out there like, why couldn't it have been a male Twi'lek or whatever? But if you write a good character, nobody cares. Like everyone's like, I mean, people were already saying that she might be like replacing Ahsoka. Do you know what I mean? Like she's like the next Ahsoka. And I saw some articles today when I was looking at stuff like, you know, people Screen Rant or somebody else is writing articles. And I've seen a couple of people like saying, well, is this the next Ahsoka? Like everyone loves her so much. But I'm like, well, a dark side Ahsoka would be an interesting twist, wouldn't it? So
yeah.
Sounds like we got a show idea.
Yeah. So you know, they get there, and this is the first time for me where I'm like, damn, that music is bouncing, right? Because she has that music in the car. She's like, boom, boom, you know, and it just kind of adds to the whole scene. They all get in there, and Docky uses the force real awesome. Like he just does some cool stuff there. So talk about that whole scene, what you guys loved, what you didn't love. I don't know what there is not to love, and them escaping. And all the way to figuring out that Arena Soul is being manipulated, and she's awesome too because she doesn't give anybody, she gives a little clue, and they handle it so well. She just does it, and then Brander's like, "Oh, okay, that's great news." And then they hang up, like, "Gosh, oh crap, here we go." So all that stuff, cover it. Tell me how you feel about it. I'm here for it. I want to hear your takes.
It was all really cool.
Final notes, no notes.
Mic drop.
Go ahead, Krissy.
No, I think this is one of the most fun scenes we've had in Star Wars in a while. Like the music, the cards, like it's just fun. They're blasting. I will admit, when Jedi lift up their no kill rule, they let loose with that because Docky's throwing people into like aircrafts, and they're like throwing people off of bridges. I'm like, you guys are really strict about that until you're not. You're very lenient, but I get it. I mean, I'm not going to complain about a bunch of stormtroopers meeting their end, but I just think it's funny how they're like, well, oh well, that was a rule. I guess not anymore. But no, I love that whole scene. I think this episode really solidified. I really like Devin. I think she's in one of my top 5 right now. Who knows where she goes from here, but like she's just fantastic. She's a great character. She's competent. We see that being told to us. I kind of feel bad because like whenever Docky fights next to her, it's like, oh, okay, man, maybe you should just go sit over there. Your Padawan's got it. You don't look as great next to her. Which like, I mean, is a testament, I guess, to her training and her natural skill, but she's such a phenomenal character. She's quirky, she's funny. I really like it. I think she's going to be a big fan favorite depending on where she goes. I think I mentioned it, I think a couple episodes ago when we were talking. Depending on like what her pivot point is, if she goes to the dark side or not, I think that's going to solidify like her being in these ranks with like, I don't think she'll replace Ahsoka, but like up there with like characters we admire and we talk about and we analyze. I think she could be up there.
Almost
which I think
a legacy character kind of.
Yeah, which says a lot because like we've seen her in 8 episodes and already she's super solid. So
people are buying what they're selling with her. So
yeah,
It'll be interesting.
I've never wanted someone to be evil at the end of this. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm here for it. You go get it. But
of course, we got the arena stuff, and then it ends with Dryden Voss reaching out. So that's pretty interesting. And I want to do a quick speculation before we go. Does Devin fall to the dark side next week? On May the 4th, 2026, Devin, I don't know if we know what her last name is. Will she fall to the dark side? Like we haven't been really able to speculate, so I want to speculate a smidge, and then I'll let you guys go.
I don't think so. No, I don't think not yet. No.
All right,
Krissy,
what do you think?
It's so tough. With where the story is at now, unless something wild happens next week, I think I'm with you. I don't think she turns this quickly. I think this is a season 2. Wherever we leave off is next week the season finale? Yeah, wherever we leave off in this finale, I think we're gonna see it in season 2. Absolutely. I think it's just gonna be a build up. But I can't see it.
Poptography, like that was gonna be my next question. Is do we think Docky dies next week?
You know, it's been fun for me. I don't know, but everyone thought he was. I mean, people were like, he's going to die in episode 1. He's going to die in episode 2. Oh, he's definitely dying next week. Well, he's dying next week. He's dying next week. And I'm like, oh my god, no.
This, honestly, this was the only week I didn't see him dying. Like, there was no point in these 2 episodes where I thought that he was going to die. But in every episode previous to this, every time there was any kind of it got tense, it got dangerous, I thought, oh, this is it, and he just keeps hanging on. So I don't know, is he done next week?
Could you, not for next week, but could you see this going like a Osha soul route? Like if she gets manipulated enough by Maul, where like I just don't know who takes him out, like the Empire? It can't be Maul, because if he does that, he loses Devin.
He loses. Yep, exactly.
So, and
he's already wounded. Although in these 2 episodes, they really didn't.
He was holding his chest in the when they're walking down the tunnel. He's holding his chest, but then that's all you. But he's never really in a position except when he uses the Force those 2 times. So,
I don't know.
I just don't know. I just can't see Devin taking him out like that either. Being manipulated that much, like something's got it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the Empire.
The Inquisitors there. Yep.
That's fair. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, how did I forget about that? But yeah, that's fair.
We could have 5. I mean, this could be 5. I mean, this could be like kind of like what was in Rebels with all the Inquisitors versus Kanan, Ezra, and Maul. And then I think there were 3 Inquisitors in that fight as well when they're on Malachor or whatever. So there's that. I mean, I think there's potential. Who knows if someone else shows up, right? I mean, because the next episode's called Strange Allies. So what does that mean? Does that mean they're all joined together to fight something? Because we still haven't seen that scene of where Maul throws a saber through the ATSD, right? We still haven't seen that scene. I think that's like the last scene we haven't seen. And then finale. But is that one of those things where it's going to change? The title is going to change after it comes out because they don't want to give anything away, the fall or, something like that. I think it would be more interesting. I don't want Docky to die, but if he dies and she does go with Maul, but she's not like on the dark side yet, but she's with him. And then next season, it's him bringing her kind of what we were going to get, what we all thought maybe we're going to get with Chimera and Osha, or with May. Is it May he ends up taking? Or Osha?
Osha.
Yeah, when he takes Osha, like, that relationship's what I thought we were going to get in season 2 of The Acolyte, like this slow kind of manipulation kind of thing. I think that'd be more interesting for me. I know everyone wants this big Maul versus Vader battle. That'll be cool to see, but I'm more interested in, what happens to Docky, and I think it would be more interesting if, like, at the end of the season, if she's not on the dark side, but like Docky's dead or she does something to save everybody. I don't know. Like I can't really think of. I just feel like they've moved so slowly. You know what I mean? In this story, like it would feel kind of silly to rush it all in these last 2 episodes all of a sudden. I don't feel like I don't feel like been enough yet. Does that make sense?
Nope.
Like,
Yeah.
I think we're just going to get one more step towards it. To your point, and I think that they're going to come together again for a battle against the Inquisitors, and I think Docky's going to have to sacrifice himself for them to escape. And then I think, like you're saying, I think we're going to get in season 2 kind of more of the seduction to the dark side,
because she's going to be sad.
She's not going to have a choice. Yeah, they're going to have to escape with him. She's going to be stuck with him. He's just going to keep putting those thoughts in her head, and I think that's what we're going to get in season 2 is, she's going to try to escape a couple times, and he's going to, this is working. We're getting somewhere together, and she's going to, I think that's what we're seeing.
I think it would be an awesome season of her. If Docky dies, she goes with him, and she's angry. She wants revenge. She's struggling with the fact that she's a Jedi. She wants revenge, and then she's getting pulled into Maul. Like, that could be really compelling.
Yeah.
Series. And then, at the end of season 2, let her fall or something like that. That's fine. Then we get season 3, Darth Talon, Darth Maul, whatever, they'll change the title or something. But I don't know. Krissy, what were you saying, Krissy? Sorry.
Oh, I don't remember, but it's okay. I think I made my point.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
I think you got. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that it's being dragged out. I think it's done in a way where it's not like, can we get to the end? It's like, no, I like this journey we're on right now. Yeah,
I think they've given us enough action. There's enough characters with these little stories. It's only 10 episodes. There's no filler, so everything we got's important. You keep it short like this, I think you could easily do another season, and I think it would pay off even more. Like, if you're going to tell this story, tell it right. Don't rush it. I don't know how the fandom will respond to that if they don't get their big, because Star Wars fans do not handle not getting what they speculate very well. If we don't get this big showdown at the end, then but I mean, why would we think that? I mean, I guess like they think they have it covered. I don't know. I just
well, everybody thought Docky's going to die from the very start, so I think if Docky dies in episode 10, I think everybody got what they expected.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're going to get something like that, and I think it's going to be satisfying. I'm kind of expecting a cliffhanger that just leaves you wanting, like, I can't wait to the next one. But yeah.
I think that might be why they announced season 2. I think this is going to be like my gosh, I need more now.
Yes, we're not all going crazy. What?
I was thinking about that because, we got this, we got May the 4th, we've got Star Wars Celebration stuff happening. And then, at the end of the month, we have The Mandalorian and Grogu, and then it's just going to be nothing. Right. Until we have no idea when Ahsoka season 2 comes out yet. I mean, I feel like we'll find out in July or sometime. They're going to give some space to Mando and Grogu, see how that does. I mean, regardless, we're getting Ahsoka season 2. So, when are they going to push that out? And then, like, we know nothing after that. We know there's rumors about an animated show or something, but do they already have season 2 in the works? Like, is it something that's going to come out next year? You know what I mean? Or I wouldn't. I don't want to wait 3 years.
I don't want it this year.
No,
I don't want it this year.
But next year, if it's time, like, that'd be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how it used to be. You waited a year and
came out,
or the 9th Jedi solo show. Oh boy, yeah. So, Patrick and his 9th Jedi. Any final thoughts, folks, before we head out?
I can't wait till next week.
Yeah. It's good. Oh, I'm loving it. It's so
Speaking
good.
of, did everyone get their midnight screening? Well, my midnight screening is at 3:45 and 7. So
I still don't know when I'm going.
I won't be going opening weekend, sadly. I know. Ooh.
50, yes. I'm going to say yes. There will be a Rey movie. I want a Rey movie. I want that to. But I think that doesn't come until after. That's not coming. I think Starfighter ends with him delivering Flynn Gray to Rey or someone who knows Rey or something. Like, I'm going to get her to Rey or him to Rey or whatever. But anyway, I don't want to go down that. I don't want to go down that alley.
Not tonight.
So, not tonight. So, all right, folks. Well, hey, everybody, be ready to go. I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen next week, so I'm just going to be in the same boat. I thought there's no way I'd ever get up early to watch these, but now I'm like, maybe I will get up early to watch these.
Yeah.
So let us know your thoughts, what you think. How does this story end? Where does this season end with Docky, with Devin, with Maul? Like, let us know what you think. And with you, Patrick. So, but yeah, let us know, folks, and thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, and hey, remember, keep an eye on the Explore the Force socials and whatnot. Help Jimmy out with his fundraiser this weekend, and good luck to you, Jimmy. Hope you raise tons of money for the Humane Society.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, the pups
my dog says it's time to go.